By that night Lucas sat down and had a long talk with Tanya. He told her that she needed help and he was going to help her. He would not take no for an answer. Lucas told her that they would come and live with him at his estate. Lucas would take care of them and that they were under his protection. Tanya told him the social workers would come for Logan. Lucas's mouth twisted into the hint of a smirk. No, they won't, he said. Tanya told Lucas they had nothing and would never be able to repay him for everything he had done for them. Lucas reached out slowly to catch Tanya's hand, not to scare her. She allowed him to catch her hand. Tanya could feel the roughness of his skin. Tanya started crying again and Lucas softly wrapped his arms around her shoulders and allowed her to cry on his shoulder, which stained tear marks on his expensive suit. The doctor came out from Logan's room again and told them that Logan was doing much better and could go home in about 2 hours. Tanya jumped up and flew to the door to go see Logan. Marco walked back into the hospital to get with Lucas. Everything is handled, boss, Marco said. What else do you need? Lucas glanced toward Logan's room. A good night's sleep, he replied, then stepped inside. Marco stayed by the doorway. Lucas was not used to being around good people, and he kept wondering why he was doing this. But when he looked at Logan and Tanya, he knew he could not leave them. When it was time for Logan to be discharged, everyone got into the new car that Marco had gotten and strapped in. Lucas kept looking at Tanya and Logan. He didn't know anything about young people, but not he was stuck with them for a while. Yet when Lucas looked at them again, he felt something expand in his chest. He didn't know what, but he was going to find out. When they reached the mansion estate, Logan and Tanya froze in shock. Tanya looked at Lucas and asked if this is where he lived. He nodded to her and Logan let out a shrill yippee that ripped through everyone's ear in the car. Marco picked up Logan and sat him in the wheelchair, while Lucas pointed the way to the door for Tanya. She looked like she was in shock. Tanya's face was grayish and Lucas with ease picked her up in his arms and carried her to the guest room that was across the hall from Logan's room. Marco told Scylla to cook some soup and to make sure Logan and Tanya ate. Scylla was the house main organizer for most things that went on in the house. Lucas went to his office on the second floor and made some phone calls. Tommy was the most trained investigator that Lucas knew. Lucas had Tommy retrieve any information of Logan and Tanya that he could get. He wanted a second sweep on them. Lucas didn't want nothing missed. Then Lucas phoned Elena. She owned a clothing store of high-quality clothing. Lucas to her to send someone to his home and he told her what had happened. Then he told Elena that cost was not a problem. The whole works were his exact words to her. She said she would be there in an hour. Marco knocked on the door of Lucas's office and Lucas said to come in. Marco had his phone in his hand and a strange look on his face. What is the matter? Lucas asked. Marco gave Lucas the phone and told him that they would need to move everyone out as soon as possible. Lucas read the message on the phone. He then slammed his fist on the desk and told Marco to prepare everything. Lucas never thought about the Remenos would move so quickly against him. He did not think that the Remenos would see Logan and Tanya as his weakness. He was just helping them out. Marco had one question. He looked at Lucas and asked how they would get Logan around the safe house. It was not rigged for a wheelchair. Lucas's eyes burned with anger. Lucas picked up his phone and made several calls. One was to Old Man James. Old Man James was one of the leaders of the area's Hell Angels groups. The group had over 800 members. Lucas told him what was happening. Old Man James told him that he would get everyone ready and that Lucas could bring them all to their safe house. He told Lucas that it was far out enough from the city and even Remino's group would not want to deal with them. Things moved fast after that. Logan thought it was exciting, he told Tanya. She looked at him with tears in her eyes and said you would. Lucas caught her hand and held it to give her time to adjust and to cry. After an hour's drive they were all at the safe house. It was huge. Old Man James with about 50 Hell's Angels were waiting for them out front.